What's up guys, it's Drac, and this is the Adventure Force Light Command. It is a motorized belt blaster claiming ranges of up to 80 feet, which means some serious FPS, has 20 darts of capacity in its belt firing, and 20 darts to load that belt. Looks like it's ergonomically solid, but the thing that I want to talk about before anything else is that this is a battery-eating monster. On the bottom here, it reveals to us that it's going to take 6 AA batteries just to power the blaster, which is, of course, the flywheels and the mechanism that turns the belt full auto, as well as whatever pusher mechanism it is utilizing. In addition to that, it has to also light up, but those are located in a separate battery compartment, and it comes with those batteries because it has a Try Me feature. That means that it is lighting up like this in the box. They will probably be worn out by the time that they come off the shelf, but lucky me, since this one was sent directly to me from Dart Zone so that I could make this video for you, these batteries are juiced up and ready to go and showcase just how awesome this is. Can you imagine if Doomland's blasters lit up in all of their translucent parts? That would be sweet. Lots of nerfers, including myself, go to great lengths to get effects like this out of their blasters, and it seems like Hasbro just does it less and less often, but in this case you get integrated light up technology in a full auto primary class blaster, and it all costs $25. That's not bad at all. So that is a general overview of this. Let's go ahead and get it assembled. It should not be difficult to do at all, and we will do that in super special vamp speed time-lapse mode. Let's go! Alrighty, so you guys can see that there are 3 settings for this blaster. The middle setting is Try Me, where you just pull the trigger to light it up. There is no rev trigger on this blaster, so even though it is a flywheel powerhouse, this is all the way off, where nothing happens at all. Then we have the Try Me mode with lights, and then when it's on, it is on. So, when it is on, the trigger actuates that pusher mechanism that you saw bouncing out of that hole. That's going to engage these darts and push them into the flywheels, which are a vertical flywheel setup that you can see through the front here. Now, the flywheels are largely exposed. This is a completely hollow tube, which means that in theory it should induce very little barrel drag. But this does not come up, nor does this come down, which means how do you get the belt into the blaster? Well, one of these links is not like the others. One of these links opens up. Yeah. And then all we have to do is feed these through. Does not matter where you start on the blaster to get this. And I'm going the wrong way. So your orientation does matter, but it doesn't matter where you start. So I'm just going to feed this through a few and then relink this so that it's a continuous chain. Now, if you did not want to relink it, it would just dump out a la machine gun. As soon as it finished, it would just spit the chain out and it would hit the ground and you could feed another one in. This allows for continuously topping off and reloading. It's kind of like an infinity chain, so to speak. Completely impractical for real steel, however, very cool for our nerfy purposes. Let's take a look at the shell itself. So, looks good. The deco is hot. I think that there's a sticker covering this particular panel here, and that sticker comes right off, and then it looks just a little bit better. In fact, they're on all of these panels, which is really cool because it kind of protects that finish. So, the light up effect is awesome. I've already spoken about that. Outside of the light up effect, blaster is ergonomically pretty comfortable. With all the batteries in the back, this is an easily one-hand wieldable blaster. Now, you do get an LED shining directly in your eyes as you're firing, but that's not the end of the world for most people. Now, the circuitry design on it is super interesting to me, particularly because it lights up. I think that that's great, and I like that Dart Zone does a pretty good job of mirroring their deco on both sides, even though they also put all of their disclaimers on one side. It is labeled on both sides, you can see, and it lights up on both sides. However, there is not any additional deco on the blaster, which is almost nicer than the way that Hasbro's been doing it, where they kind of cheat you. They give you half a decoed blaster, whereas this one has no deco. However, I do like the circuitry. I think that it looks very cyberpunk-esque, and that is really, really cool because it's an avenue that hasn't really been explored since the Nerf Cyber Strike line, which is just drenched in 90s goodness. So, let's go ahead and fire it because it is a functional toy. It doesn't just look cool. I was waiting to fire it, though, because it is loud. So, here we go. We will fire from a shouldered position. We're just going to fire all 20 darts, and we're going to see in its full auto, because it's not semi, you have to stagger your shots, but how that performance looks, claiming ranges of 80 feet. Let's go! Well, that was fast. So the rate of fire is nothing to write home about, and staggering single fire shots is easy because of that. So it's either a pro or a con, depending upon how you want to look at it. Now, the blaster in and of itself is getting decent performance. It is not, however, breaking the 80-foot margin with the average of its shots. It looked like the average shot was hitting about that 65-foot point for me. So I'm sure that angled it could hit 80 feet, and I will be doing a full FPS test of this blaster on this chronograph over here, which will be linked in the end screen below. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I think that it's definitely considerable at 25 United States dollars. Now, in this case, Nerf does have full-fledged flywheel blasters coming in under this price point. The Strife can still be found in some places, although I think that it is on its way out, and the Bear modulus blaster, it also gets decent flywheel performance. The shells on Nerf blasters tend to be a lot nicer, but Dart Zone is getting better and better with each new line that they output, so I think that this is a solid contender, especially if you really dig the belt-style blasters. I know in particular we have one Nerfer in the SCNC named Haley, and she really digs belt-style blasters, and she's been trying to make Vulcans work forever, so I will probably find a way to give her one of the new Dart Zone blasters just so that we can see how they perform on the SCNC battlefield, because while they're not my cup of tea, there are definitely people who really enjoy them. So, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this look at the Dart Zone Light Command, and I will see you guys next time with another fun review. Much love, Nerf on, Drac out.